Good morning, cyber traders. Happy Thursday, everyone, and welcome back for a little bit of a rally in the market. Good to see you, Michael, Brad, Bill, everyone, Kerry, everybody. Getting a couple of good little runners today. We got a little push in the market. Good news came out of Washington that they cut a deal with with England, so we'll see how that's going to work out. You could see we got a lot of good greens, so crossing our fingers that this tariff thing is going to start picking up a little bit. So for some of us that got a lot of the bottoms on some of the stocks, like the Nvidias, the Teslas, the Deltas, whatever you had out there, you're looking pretty good. But there are a couple of good stocks that are also moving along. It's just not about the tariffs. We're seeing the quantum stocks that are moving up pretty nicely too. I was just talking to Bill Ireland. He said he cashed out on got his dividend check on the MSTY. And it's funny, we were talking about, like, it'd be nice if you could short those stocks when they pay out, because they get crushed. But anyway, did pretty well on that one. And also, what else that we had that's making big moves? Oh, Bitcoin's moving up pretty well too. So we're getting close to 100,000 on Bitcoin. We are trading now at 99,300. So what a big rally on Bitcoin. You could see here on IBIT. This is a good way to kind of justify, remember, we don't trade the actual physical coin, but we trade the ETFs on it. And yes, you could see that thing was down to $44 in the back of early April. Let's say, right there on April Fool's Day, close to it. And sure enough, 44, really nice little push right there. You can see we're getting really close to that 58, which 58, I think, is 105 on Bitcoin. 100. Let me just show you what we got going on over here. And let me just change this up so you guys can see a little bit different. So right here, you're looking at level 4, and you could see right there, here's where Bitcoin is at 99,000, and there is 267 Bitcoins looking to be sold right at 100,000. So you're talking about, what is that, 260 million or whatever, 26 million, something like that. So you're right there. So anyway, this is one thing we teach on Cyber Trade University is we always look at the right of the chart, know where the orders are at all times. So before we move forward and go through the watch list, let's talk about what happened yesterday. We had some really, really good movers. We just finished phase 3 yesterday, and if you missed those classes, they are posted on your portal page. If you don't have access to them, talk to Education Advisor. I'll tell you how to get into them. But we had some really, really good examples of some really good moves. Let's just talk a little bit about a few of them. My all-time favorite yesterday was this one right here, ASST. What a gorgeous run-up. It's going back on the watch list. Now, for some of you that were in my class yesterday, if you remember, I was telling you how we convert day trades into swing trades. So ASST became a very good swing trade. It was strong in the morning. What was beautiful about this stock is, look right here around the 2:30 time frame yesterday. Let me blow this up so you guys see a little bit bigger. So here's around 2:30, which is where we have the second part of our afternoon meeting. I know Josh was having fun with this stock too yesterday in class, but beautiful stock went from $2, went to a whopping $3 yesterday. That is do the math, okay? And I love taking out my calculator, because sometimes I have to kind of show it to you. A $2 stock times 1,000 shares equals $2,000, okay? Times that by $1, okay? Well, I'm sorry, it's out. Times that by $1, 2 minus 3 is $1,000, right? $1,000. Times that by 5 days a week is 5,000. Times that by 52 weeks, there's your nice $250,000 salary. And now, not only that, but it's up to $5. So the thing is, I was talking to someone yesterday, beautiful woman, going to be a student of ours, Francesca. I don't know if she's here today, but one thing she was mentioning to me is, and I know a lot of you guys think about this before you come into trading. They're like, I don't like to trade stocks under $5. I don't know too much about them. but she'll rather trade a $300 stock. I'm like, well, how much you want to make a day? And she wants to make 1,000 a day. I'm like, well, why go out there and trade a $300 stock? It goes up $1. You have to risk up 300,000 when you could trade a stock like this, where it's only a $2,000 investment. You can make the same amount of money. She's like, well, I don't really, she didn't know. She really could not answer the question. And that's why she loves going to be a student of Cyber Trade University. And that's why a lot of you guys became of it. But listen, stock does not look like done. It did come out with great news yesterday, ASST. Rich, I mean, if you could post the news on it again. You want to see level 4 on it? Yes. Let's look at the orders right here. So looking at the orders right here on ASST, you had some resistance levels right around here, around the $5 price range, but it doesn't look really that clean yet. So we'll check back with that a little bit later, the ASST. I mean, right now it looks kind of messy. Now, what else that we had that moved up yesterday that moved up really nicely? A couple of really nice stocks. We had PRCH also moved up really nice yesterday. $7.50 stock. Gorgeous run up. Ran all the way to a whopping $9.50 in less than 15 minutes. And then it did a beautiful Fausto flag. Consolidated. And then, you know what? Right in the afternoon, ran for about another $1. Nice little stock right there. So that one moved up. Oscar, again, we've been trading that stock. Looks like that one's moving up pretty nicely. I'm going to put that back on the watch list again. Going into this morning. OSC8R. I'm sorry about that. What else? Pony was amazing too. Pony just won't stop. Pony has been such a great swing trade. Once again, what the company news out on it, it's an AI for autonomous driving. The Chinese version of it is doing really, really well. $5 stock. It was at $15. It had another big move yesterday. 15 is a big resistance levels on this stock. All right, but let me go over here and show you level 4 on it because something just happened. A buyer just showed up here at 15.10 for 22,000. Everybody see that 9 o'clock this morning? You got resistance levels here at 15.50. There was I found that yesterday, if you remember, there was a very big resistance levels at 15. Big resistance levels at 15. Not only that, but here on the long-term chart, 15 was a major resistance levels. We're right around that give and take $15, $16 price range. If it can break that, oh my God, this thing could really take off again. But remember, it is up a lot. Gorgeous Fausto flag down here. Good breakout. Pony's going to go back on the watch list again. We put Pony back on there. And Google was a good short yesterday. Google just got really crushed yesterday. Google, I don't know what's going on Google. You know, listen, I know everyone's a big fan. Google has always been the capital pioneer stock when it comes to the stock market, like a Microsoft, a Meta, you know, the Fabulous 7. But Google's got some big issues. Google's got some big issues. They got antitrust issues going on. They're in court right now. They became a monopoly. Does anyone here own an online business? Okay. Anybody own? Don't you feel like, first of all, they monopolized the advertising business? Okay. Totally monopolized on it. I remember I used to advertise, several years ago, used to pay $1. Now they want $15. It's like, it doesn't even pay. I don't know how these big companies afford it to pay for it, but like, unless they got a great deal, but for people like you and a small person, you know, like the mom and pop, it's just ridiculous. And they monopolize and, YouTube and everything else. So they're really taking a really big hit. They're also taking a hit also, that's right, Randy, on the AI search that listen, they are a conglomerate. Not conglomerate. They are a monopoly. You know, it's just at the end of the day, they are a monopoly. All right. So same thing with Apple. Apple's a monopoly on their app store. They don't make, the phone is one thing. This phone is just basically, a monopoly to get you locked in their apps. You know what I mean? It's not making a telephone call anymore. So yeah, they're getting big hits. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but you know what? There's a lot of other stocks out there. Don't get overwhelmed. Like, you always got to trade the Fabulous 7s. Okay. But anyway, that one's obviously taking a big hit. Let's look at one more stock I want to bring up that's moving up pretty well. And an order just got filled on it. I was going to share this for you. GPUS. Okay, so that one moved really nicely yesterday. It ran from 5.50 all the way to $8. And I want to show you something really quick right here. Here, an iceberg order was out there right around 760. Do you see how a slingshot happened right here? Boom, look at this thing still going up. Look at all those orders. Look at the volume kicking in on this stock. Now, it just ran from 750. We're almost at we're almost at $8. We're at $8 a share. So I don't know if anyone saw this, the 9 o'clock move, but that was a beautiful move on that stock right there. I don't know if any of you traders jumped on it early this morning, but what a great trade right there. That one's going back on the watch list. All right. A couple of other stocks I did find here that were moving. I found the stock Zinkin. Let me just show you here on level 2. Where are we? Here we are. So that one had a good afternoon hours close, but she's kind of flat right here. There's a lot of sellers around the $170, $180. You can see it's having a tough time breaking it there on the chart. And that has to do, when we look at the right of the chart, is right here. Boom. A lot of resistance levels right there. So, you're probably hearing some people talking about it, but I'll put this on the B list. All right. And quantum stocks are moving up really nicely. Okay. QBTS. All right. So quantum stocks are moving up pretty nicely. So you got the quantums, QBTS. What about the nuclear stocks? Are they moving? Very little up there. What else we got over here? Well, NASDAQ had a nice little pop. You got IBIT that's moving up pretty well. IBIT. We're going to put that on our watch list. And that pretty much does it. Amazon, what's that doing right there? That one's gapped up. A lot of these stocks are gapped up because of, the news that came out of Washington. So, regarding about the deal with England. All right. Anything else I'm missing I did not call out? Oh, look at that. Kerry did good on that stock on the GPU. There you go, Kerry. Kerry, you you're becoming a really good swing pre-market trader. Way to go. Way to go, Kerry. A couple other stocks also the guys are bringing up over here. Let me see some of them. What else we got? We got the IONQ. Okay, that's another one. I believe that's another one of the nuclear stocks, right? IONQ. What else we got there? We got worried about that. We'll put that one on there too. That one's moving up pretty nicely. So a couple of nice little stocks, pretty decent list. Now remember, the market's going to open up. We're always going to find something new. If you're watching on social media right now, if you're on YouTube, we're going to broadcast live today. And then at 12 o'clock, we're going to have an open house for everyone here that would like to learn a little bit more about level 4 and the right of the chart. If the left of the chart's not working with the indicators, you probably want to learn what the right is all about. So we're going to do that. We do a weekly live event. So make sure you subscribe for it. If you're watching on social media, take your phone on the right-hand corner, turn on your camera, scan the QR code. We'll see you there. Also, I'll post up the link right here, right in the middle, if you want to join the live trading room. There we go, right there. Post that right there for you. Okay, 1 week trial. All right. In the meantime, everyone, let's get ready for the market opened up. We're going to take a 15-minute break. Do not log out, and we'll be right back. One quick question, Kerry says, Austin, thanks, Vasco. I'm quite proud of myself. Took lots of learning of doing. Well, Terry, thanks for sharing that. And you know what? We're very proud of you too, and you and everyone else that is part of Cyber Trade University. This is why we love teaching you guys. All right. And remember, it's all about being part of the team. All right. All right, everybody. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. 15 minutes. We're going to take a break, and Josh will be joining me and Rich going into this open in 9:30. Good luck, everyone. Trade safe. Be right back.
All right, we are good to go, folks. Good morning. Market just opened up. I'm sure that we'll get Fausto on in just a second here. But hey, as always, let's wait the first few minutes here, wait the first 5 and see how it plays out. This ASST trade, jeez, this thing is crazy from yesterday. I would wait to see this thing just shake out at first. It could even get halted on the way down. All right, but otherwise, yeah, we got a bunch moving here this morning. Great to see Kerry, Ron, Lynn, and Randy, Michael, Leda, all our students right now inside our live trading room.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Just sorry, just got a little stuck there. How you doing, Josh? Everything going well?
Yeah, well would be an understatement from yesterday. You would probably had a better morning class than I had an afternoon class with the market. Just coming off the Fed meeting, things were like a little weird.
I can't believe I can't believe that ass. I hate to use the F word, but like, how did you not lower the rates? I mean, like,
Oh yeah. I think they're gonna
man.
do it in June though. Like they said, like 100% chance it's gonna be in June, but they should have been done back in March. I feel like.
I just don't understand. By the way, Tesla's making a huge pop right here. Just bounced $5 right off the gate at the open. I don't know if it's a slingshot, but that one's having a big run up.
Yeah, here comes ASST. It's still trying to hold here, but I'm gonna wait until 9:35 on that. QBTS is pretty promising though. That was a nice pre-market move early this morning that we
Oh
had.
my God, that thing was just unbelievable yesterday. What a great, the news is actually pretty good on it too, but it's up a lot. I mean, let's think about it. 2 days ago, this thing was literally what, 50 cents? Yeah, 60 cents. It's up to $6. That's up a 1,200% move. But it was a great trade yesterday. We did a swing trade on that in the morning. I assume that you probably trade in the afternoon, but actually, no, I didn't really do anything in the afternoon. It was after hours, actually.
It got choppy, but you know how you always say hold into the close, right?
Uh-huh.
So I had a good entry on it. I had a couple small losses at first. When we teach, we're not doing big size. You can't multitask that well, right? So took a couple small losses, but then I had a sweet entry on the ASST. The issue though is, like you said, it didn't make that better pop. Like it kind of just grinded up a little bit. So it was a little tough. Still walked out a winner, but
Yeah. Bill's saying ponies moving. I was talking to Bill this morning. It's funny. Bill, Josh did really well on MSTY, the ETF with the high one.
yeah.
And just really quick, I was just telling him, he goes, wow, Faust, that's genius, but unfortunately, you can't do it. MSTY. So if you look at MSTY, just out of curiosity, yesterday it closed at 20.
Not to cut you off, I'm sorry, Fausto, but the ASST is about to get halted.
Is it? Okay.
Yep, on the way up. Here we go.
There we go. Nice move on that one.
Oh, shit, I jinxed it.
Ah.
Oh, dude, are you kidding me?
That's fine.
Be careful now. This might look to peel back a bit, but damn. Hold on. Oh, they're about 2 seconds shy of it. 2 seconds shy. They was kicking in, but sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. That was all but halted there. No, but you were talking to Bildo about the MSTY you were saying, right?
Yeah. So what I was saying about that is that the stock closed at 25.25, right? Then they made their dividend. They paid their dividend. It gapped down all the way down to 23.50. Same thing that happened with me with CONY. And what I was saying is like, you know what? It's almost a given that's going to go down. Why can't you short it? And it's like free money, right? Because they got to do the payout. And sure enough, it's not shortable. Because it happened to me. Like I said, it happened to me. It happened to him, and made a nice little payout. But it was a great buy right around the 20, $18, $19. Great buy on that. On it. So you made money on a good dividend, and you made really good money on the big move up. That had a lot to do, obviously, with Bitcoin.
I want to keep my mouth shut for a few seconds here. 1 second. Just got halted, I think,
Yep.
right?
I see it right there. Got halted now.
All right. I wanted to keep my mouth shut for a few seconds. I didn't want to jinx it. Oh, finally.
Rich, could you post the news out on the alert, make it an alert so let everybody out there in the world understand what's going on with ASST? As in not just the hold, but what the news is out on it.
Yeah, they're basically a Bitcoin treasury company now. They're one of the first, or I think the first. Post news to that in just a moment. The GPUS trade's also pretty nice. That just broke a new HOD. I think it also popped above yesterday's high.
What a crazy news on that, right?
Yep.
Look at that merger deal from Bitcoin Treasury Company.
Oh, nice. A few of our students making money on the ASST trade to begin at least. Bell got out. She had like $1 and plus on it. Kamar did really nice. He got in from five out of 644. Incredible.
I'm still holding it from yesterday. Actually, I did a swing trade on it, but I don't have that many shares. I have a small lot on it, so I'm not. That's why I'm not super excited.
Yeah.
Don't you hate when that happens? Like, I wish I bought more. You know what's really flying, but we're not going to trade it. It just got halted too. I don't know what the news on this stock too is, but check out RGC.
I was gonna guess that you're gonna say that.
You knew that? You saw that coming?
Only because the other day I saw it like doing the meeting in the afternoon. I was like, where the hell did this thing come from?
I know, right? That's crazy.
Now it's at 200, what? 270 basically? That's
So
nuts.
it was $4 in March, right? And then it went all the way up to like 60, came crashing down. Did beautiful consolidation around 25. It's just awesome. And then just one day it decided to wake up and now it's on 268. I don't know what the news is on it, but that's just crazy.
Yeah, no, well, we definitely want to have like, we teach this in phase one, right? Like we focus on the volume more than anything. Like we don't need news to have a stock run as long as it has good volume.
That's
But
right.
it's nice to know why a stock is moving up like 500% or whatever. So for the ASST trade, you read the news. If you're Bitcoin, pro Bitcoin, it's going to be something nice. Same with GPUS. GPUS, I think, is moving off of news as well, like
Hmm.
AI and
Oh, it's open. The RGC. I'm just curious what the outstanding shares are because it got hold at 28,000 shares. I think it's just absolutely nuts.
yeah. I was going to say I don't. God knows what the float would be on that one.
Yeah. The
Now you'd
W.
mentioned the ASST swing trade that you're in, Fausto. I'm swing trading the CEP from the other day, but
Oh, still have that?
that's on tiny size because just like the spread that has pretty thin volume, so you got to do that on small.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then from 2850 on that, it was. But I'll tell you though, when we were on the microphone, maybe you were in class like in phase 3 in the morning, but I just randomly fell into my lap. When a trade just falls into your lap, you catch it at the perfect moment, the perfect time. It's like, hey, just buy me now. That rarely happens, but it happened there. I was like, oh shoot, all right, well, I'll set my stop to break even, and if it doesn't take me out, maybe we could ride it. Um, Getting a bounce on Pony right now, Bill.
Pony.
Early on that HIMS trade.
It's funny. Pony was so tradable, and then all of a sudden, it just got nuts. Wow, Tesla's flying. All right. I own a shitload of shares of TSLL, TSLY. TSLY, if you look at the long-term chart, it is at a major resistance level right here. Beautiful Fausto flag. Oh, by the way, we had when we had Daniel on Tuesday, the engineer from Germany.
Mhm.
So he messaged me, and I'm going to work on making a indicator Fausto flags.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, yeah. He goes, that's easy. We can make that. I'm like, really? I'm like, that's great because you know,
Nice, cool. It's something that you could probably apply to the charts.
you apply it in any brokerage firm account. Why not? Right? I mean, just and but I'm going to do a little bit different here. This stock's moving right here. This ZVAI. But what I'm going to do something different is we're able to make a scanner. So it will find, like he said, we could make a scanner. So it will actually find Fausto flags. It'll scan the market and say, hey, like you have like a ticker coming up, like uh, ZVAI Fausto flag, ASST. And so instead of us going crazy looking for it, it'll find it for us.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. I'll come to you. The ASST trade should be reopening up now, right? Like in like 1 minute. So be careful. This got halted like so many times yesterday, and not just up, but down too. So let's hope for one more push, but that spread's opening up bad now. It's a good time just to take money if you're in from $6. If you got in before the halt, just to do it. I mean, hey, you could ride it out if you want, but just if you're up like 50 cents, why not just take the freaking money? We're heading into the summer. You want to start your weekends early, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
A shake already.
Oh, this thing's coming down. I got to sell this stock.
This is not the type of trade that we were seeing yesterday. The order book's thinning out a lot more now in the ASST. Yeah, Alex, nice catch there. He took some money on that. Chuck just on the other one, the GPUS.
And so my Archer.
I gotta set an alert for Oscar OSCR at 17 because I gotta take an entry on that there. That pissed me off in class yesterday. It was a trade that should have held support that didn't. Phil, very nice. Where'd you jump in on that trade, Phil? Love to see just the entry on that 41 cents. Excellent job there. Probably got in right over 6 there, I'd say.
Okay, just sold some stock. Do I have anything else? No. Don't have it in there. I have to manage like 10 different accounts.
Oh, just for your nieces and nephews?
What's that?
For your nieces and nephews, you're saying?
Yeah, all of them. My father-in-law, I manage his account, my wife's account, my kid's account. It'd be nice if you could just purge all of them at one time if you own the stock, instead of go to every separate account. Wow, this stock's getting crushed. G. Doesn't look like it's shortable though for us. Low volume.
You're able to short QBTS. That could have been a nice little downtrend there for you.
I think we're getting a Fausto flag on this ASST.
I want to see it break over 650. If it does, that could lead to a new squeeze, but
QBTS, look at that. See that? See what I'm talking about? We have a stock on a watch list, and you don't know how good it's going to be until it opens, and then sure enough, market opens up and it tanks. So that's what I want to point out. When we make a list, that's why Josh always said, wait the first 5 minutes, wait the first 5 minutes, wait, and that's what happens. And you'll see that just because we give you a list doesn't mean that you got to buy at that moment. Take it off. That is gone. That's gone. What's going on with GPUS? Is that still moving? This building a Fausto flag, this ASST. I could smell it, Josh.
Pops, hopefully just get a quick insta halt, make it nice and easy for us. Chuck saying PLTR waking up. Yeah, a little bit there, Chuck. I see it. It's up 5%, so that's actually a nice move. It's filling the gap already, it seems, from the other day.
Big Pony's done. GPS looks like it's moving. GPUS.
Yeah, we called that out before.
It's coming to a big iceberg. We're at 9. Took him out. Boom.
Yep, and breaking over the high from, what was it, Tuesday?
Yep.
Or Monday, one of those days there you see on the daily chart.
No, it didn't break that high. What was that high right there? 908. Ooh, somebody keeps showing up at $9. How big was that order? That was a big ass order. 35,000 showed up, and he pulled it. I don't know if he screwed up. That was like a flash sale.
There he goes. The chat Fausto, the stock AKBA. Nice cheap stock. Good order book. It might be like category 1 or 2, so it's like good for intro students, beginner level traders, and testing the pre-market high right now. It's up 17%.
What is it? AKBA?
Yeah, AKBA. It's like a pharma stock, but just otherwise, it's like, it's actually testing the high from March.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now. I wouldn't buy it.
Where does come from?
It's got that resistance, right? And then I didn't look at level 4, but
that's the thing. I didn't check it either yet. Just a little quick, and I want to focus on that ASST, the Fausto flag that you're pointing out. But that's a new one there, AKBA.
I need this TSLL to break out. GPUS keeps going up. There we go. Another pop right now. It's going to test a 50-cent seller at 12,000. That looks like the big mover right now. A little fast, but I think ASST is making a Fausto flag on the downside. I'm not liking that right now. Remember, we don't like stocks that go up this much. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And I always kind of use this metaphor, try to explain it. It's like, imagine you bought a house for 100 grand, right? and 2 days later they want 2 million. What would you do?
I'd flip that thing in a second.
But you what? But you this was your dream house, Josh. You bought this dream house and you got it 100 grand, and you're ready to move in, and then 2 days later it's worth 2 million. You still gonna sell it?
And find another dream house.
Exactly. Very good. There you go.
No problem. We got a few of those out there on planet Earth.
Perfect way to explain it. That's exactly what I wanted to hear, because then you're like, there's gonna be another dream house, and there's a dream house GPUS. You can't fall in love with these things. You know what I mean? Like,
I'll tell you what, just real quick, because it's pissed me off a little bit, but like there could still be a new entry on it. That Oscar trade is so strong.
is it really?
They're cash positive, no debt. Jared Kushner backed, and obviously Trump backed too, with that in mind. But just I think they had good earnings, just everything about them. They're holding up pretty nice. The only issue is that it has like kind of thin order book. It has an all right heat map, not too special, but
My whole funny story about Oscar. Every time I see this stock, it just comes back always to me. So when Obamacare came out, when it first came out, and they started breaking up, all these new companies started coming out. Oscar was one of the first ones, so which was like the cheapest one back then, our health insurance. So I actually bought this one, and the CEO, I think at the time, was from U.S. Healthcare, and he started his own one, or Oxford, I think he was. He left and he always started his own. And you jump on the bandwagon, and you get all these new healthcare companies came out, and it was the first one that I bought, and it was really good, and it was cheap back then. It was still like I was still paying $1,000 for family. You know what I'm paying now? $4,000. But I'm not have Oscar. I mean, then they got in big trouble and they raised their rates, but every time I see it, like every time I see this stock, I think it brings back like old memories of the first one of when it first came out.
Question for you, and I don't want to distract us from trading because GPUS is still holding up well.
I
Just made
see
a call
it.
out myself on NVAX at support. But why are there like 5,000 different Blue Cross Blue Shields?
Yeah, I know, right? There's
I never knew that.
Anthem came out. Now they're merging with this one. I don't know. You know what? That whole thing is just it's just
there's
I don't know.
Aetna, there's Cigna. That's all good. There's Oscar. There's like 7,000 Blue Cross Blue Shields.
Yeah, it's like a Ponzi scheme. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, Chris, PLTR definitely a good move there. Chuck called that out before. I'm sure that you both are in it, doing pretty nice.
United Healthcare. I mean, like, when you really look at it, like, how's that company $500? I mean, I thought they're are non for profit. I mean, obviously they are. Remember, you can always tell how good a company is by the price of their stock. Always remember that. I tell everyone that all the time. You are what the stock says you are.
I uttered those words from you in class, I think yesterday. If it wasn't class, it was like traders talk. I said it this week, and I said Fausto says this all the time. I botched it at first, but then I got the right phrasing on it.
You know where I got that? Where I got that line? I had to change it around. You know where it came from? That line? It's a sports line. Bill Parcells came out and said, and he always said, your record, they says, oh, they're a good team. And he says, you know what? Your record says how good you are. How he says it. He goes, you are as good as your record says you are.
What about the head coach that at the press conference at the end of the game said, they are who we thought they were?
Yeah, that was Green. That was Green. He was on the Vikings.
Yep.
I remember him. Go again. We thought
he was screaming. He was going crazy. He was like,
we thought they were. I don't know what the hell that meant. He was on the Cardinals, Brian. Was it the Cardinals? I thought it was the Vikings. I forgot. I don't know what that means. Iceberg Ore just showed up right now at 850 on GPUS. Showed up. Looks like it's holding right there. That's a good sign.
Ooh, might be a ladder. Let's see if this could hold.
Oh yeah, he's laddering up. He's laddering up. You know what that means, cyber traders?
It's funny. The stock I called out earlier, AKBA, it genuinely was good at the time, but it just never broke resistance. So you turn back at it. If it's not breaking resistance, it's going to dump. Wipe your hands clean from it. That's all. Just move on to a different trade.
Somebody on. No, that's not it. That's not a good one. I don't want to share that one. All right, it's testing him. By the way, for anyone that's watching on social media, I'm going to be doing a broadcast live at 12 o'clock. So if you have your phone, you can scan the QR code on the right-hand corner. So if you want to come and join us before we're done in 30 minutes, feel free to do that now before we log out. There's the link right there also. You can click on the link in the
I
chat.
think, did Jay-Z get halted just now?
This is pretty cool. He's holding pretty strong right there, Josh. Look at that. Oh, we're getting some volume is kicking in right now. If you got level
Yeah.
4, you could see it. Rich, you know what? Why don't you bring it over and let's show some of the people what it looks like.
Yeah, he's talking about the GPUS trade, Rich. We were just calling out Jay-Z getting halted by
GPUS.
Fausto.
Yeah, make a show.
Yep, nice ladder. It started to push up there from it.
It's funny. Yours looks so much different than mine.
So that's right. I do this more in the coaching program because everyone has like different settings, little things they like on it. So, for any students here, like I work with you in the coaching program, we style your book map how you want it. How if you want it Fausto, how he does it in class. You don't want to have too many things on it. That's the only thing. You don't want to have too many bells and whistles to like try and focus in on. But
yeah, this is mine. You guys can see it. You see a ladder right here. How it's going up there. There's that 30,000. You see how it's going up pretty nicely. Now it's going to test the next high right there.
there we go. Just got taking a break even on NVAX. Didn't even realize I was talking to you this whole time. I got my notifications off right now.
All right.
It's already at the next support, 650.
All right, Rich, you can take it down. Let's bring back the execution system. There we go.
GPUS, even from here, again, like there's still time with the cyber clock to look for a pop and a new high. But listen, if you jumped in where both Fausto and myself are calling out that iceberg, you're up 40 cents, 45 cents. That's a nice solid trade.
And the seller got done at 40. Big volume. By the way, ASST got halted. And like I said, remember I said that I didn't like it. There was a Fausto flag on the downside.
Yep.
That was right around that $6. Look what happened. It dropped down to 5. So
Tell you what, you called it. You nailed it right there. And I was looking for the break over 650, which never happened. I had an order actually. I'm going to cancel my order now, as you can imagine. Move on from the stock now. Nice trade Farzad on the GPUS trade. You got in at 868 and he took his money and ran. Like, hey, it's always a wise thing to do. You could never go broke taking a profit, especially if it's like a nice solid trade like that.
Just watching what Gene wrote here about the GPUS. Bitcoin mining.
I caught NVAX just in time right there because I didn't realize I got taken out. It didn't even like ping me on my break even. And I just got back down to 650 as support. Slingshotting already. So
ooh, the guy pulled his order at $9 on the GPUS.
See what happens now.
Maybe
it could ladder, but
see if he ladders up. Big volume bar on the right. Now, by the way, we're gonna find some other stocks that are moving. So everyone, don't worry about it. We'll see things. I know Rich called out the ZKIN.
we still got to wait on JZ to reopen up. That got halted to the upside just before. QBTS is bouncing back up pretty nice, like decent little V-shaped pattern there.
Yeah, let's see if it's doing consolidation here. Be beautiful. See that guy ladder up.
I'll tell you what, am I going to beat Chuck to the punch here on kids?
Wow,
It's been one of his favorites of late year from this week.
Stop
IGZ. The bad spread though on that one, you got to be careful with the order book, but it's up 12%. It's one we're more familiar with at least.
There's this one stock that looks like a good short, but it's a little ugly. You got to still on an offer. CODI. Was it earnings? Must have been earnings because that's not looking too good. You know what's on there? Do you have a You have a big percentage gainers and losers, right? There's
Yeah.
a CODI, there's a CODI/C, there's a CODI/B. And these are warrants or these ETFs? Doesn't really say.
I,
Diversify. What the hell is Compass
I don't
Diversify?
see that on mine.
Yeah, mine's showing three of them. That's why it's nice to have different platforms. It's saying it's 7.875% CUM. I don't know what the hell that means. There's a push right now back with GPUS. It's going back up to that 50. Looks like a guy laddered up at $9. Not that much, only got 6,000 shares.
Pulled the plug on mine just before. Remember, it's like never like you don't need to be, Mr. or Mrs. Perfect on a trade with getting out at the perfect price. If you're happy with your profit, hey, that's what we look to do. We do this to put a smile on our face at the end of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you nailed it on ASST earlier, and then now you're doing good on GPUS, like man, like that's enough. You could even take a small break, come back later on, and finish out the day.
Oh, he laddered up again. Somebody just well, he didn't ladder up. Someone joined him for 11,000.
Oh yeah, I see that there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm doing pretty good. I shorted it. I didn't buy and short a lot of that CODI because it's kind of ugly spread, but it's going down.
Again, keep in mind, like, we're talking about taking the money and running a little on the GPUS, but like, it's still only 9:57 in the morning. We got plenty of time until reversal time, so
Oh, this is not looking good for the stock.
good to ride the wave a little bit still. I'm happy with Bitcoin, obviously. So I've been telling all of our students, I was very confident about this from the end of April. I said May and June together are just holding months. Just feel good about the run up in May and June, and we'll see what happens later on. But I think that we'll break over 100,000 by the end of this week. I think.
Yeah, I wonder. I wonder if it's anything with the tariffs that came out of the White House about the deal that they do in England that kind of really pushed it up.
Oh shoot! Speaking of which, I just said the time's 9:57. Now it's 9:58. 2 more minutes until Trump and company and make that official announcement. They
Yeah.
said New York Times reported it, but at 10 o'clock he's going to be out there.
So we should get a nice little move at around like 10:30. Because what happens like you got to see how they analyze it and see how they come up with it and see what news where it's going to lead to. You know what I mean? Because if it's a really sick deal, that they're not going to make any. We're not going to do. Listen, one country is not going to get a better deal in the other country. It's going to be kind of be more across the board because everyone's going to get pissed off. They're like, well, why did you give him a 10% tariff and you charging us 30? You know what I mean? Like we want 10. I don't know.
Trump wouldn't have any issue explaining why.
Yeah.
But if he wants to play nice, then yeah, you're right.
There's this cheap little stock that's going up too. Volume's a little light though. The LZ. Just making HOD.
We got Jay-Z, we got LZ.
I don't want Jay-Z. No Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to jail.
My NVAX trade's bouncing up pretty nice so far.
It's pretty funny. And the big gainers. Number 2 is Jay-Z, and LZ is. If he was public, he probably would buy Jay-Z.
He might be in a little hot water. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll
that buyer got filled. Getting a pop right now back on GPUS.
Wow, yeah, it got
shake
filled,
right here.
It looks like slingshot, maybe.
No, you know what? It looks like consolidation. Getting a nice little consolidation going on right now.
Did it test 10? It didn't test 10, right? Because we were talking about the high the other day at $8. It wouldn't shock me if it goes up to 10 today just to kind of test resistance, then maybe drop.
What's the resistance on that? It's broke all-time highs. 52-week highs. It's all-time highs, Josh.
No. You got to go. No, my chart's different there. Back in August, it broke below support, kind of where it's at now. Oh shit! Let me show this to you really quickly.
I can't go. I can't go back that far. I don't know. Mine's locked up. It's weird. Looks like I can do a shake.
I had an issue the other month where you were clean on yours. So, like you said, it will happen every now and then.
LZ is making a little bit of a push right here. Just went up about 3 cents. So we gotta be careful. Sometimes you see these very inexpensive stocks, good volume, low volume stocks. All of a sudden, they start picking up volume out of nowhere. Yeah, I think just took out those big sellers out there, Josh. I think it's volatile.
All right, so I'm going to copy and paste this. Yeah, because as it's happening right now, I couldn't even
Yeah,
do it fast enough.
yeah.
Just look at the picture I just put there. I was looking at support back from last year on this trade. It's actually where it topped off pretty much. Look at that Fausto flag. It basically drew back in July, August of last year. If you click on my picture,
Gorgeous.
support becoming resistance, I guess, right? Jeez, couldn't even make that fast enough. It tanked. It didn't go up as much as the ASST trade in the last however many days, but like it's still a lot. Would it go from like $1.40 up to 9.66? I mean, that could be as much percentage wise. Rich pointing out a trade that I forgot about. I keep forgetting about You saying WBD, Rich?
WBD.
Sorry, I thought you were talking WRD, the other one from this week. Nah, that one's not doing good. My dyslexia kicking in, Rich. So
I feel your pain. Moving up, making HOD. Spreads a little wide though.
NVAX is doing great right now. It's on the way back up to 7. There could be a short squeeze ahead for NVAX.
The stock just got halted. Bruce, how do you find him so fast? Before I even say it, like he already knows. Am I delayed or something? Like
Got our Benzinga Pro here.
I could see that.
Oh, a nice little bounce on Hims, Bill. I'm sure that you're already on that. Bill's been in love with that Hims trade. It's more category 5 that though now. And it's definitely more of a crazy stock. But if you've done well on it this week, then stick with it.
It was a weird stock this past 2 days. AMD. They had their earnings announcements. It had a huge slingshot, went from like 98 up to 105, came back down to like 98 again, and back up to 105. Pretty strong.
Crazy. I saw some unusual options out there from the other day before the earnings. And at first I saw it pop in the after hours. I was like, oh, I guess that guy did good. And then it got crushed. I'm like, oh, that guy got blown up. They're doing like out of the money calls. So that's where you're like basically playing casino. And that's kind of a silly thing to do here. So it's very make or break.
You know, I'm really pissed off. I sold Hood. That really sucks.
They're around the same price, him and Hood, both. But and they made a similar type of like parabolic run from last year.
Yeah.
I love both companies in the sense of product, just because Hood they've renovated their platform, they've like catering just to like active traders, investors. They've polished up so nice, so it shows on the chart, like you say. And then Hims, obviously, who can't like what's going on with Hims and Hers with all of their products that they have. So probably going to get into the peptide game eventually, and that will take the stock probably to $150.
It's doing pretty well. Palantir. It's holding here pretty strong.
Wow, Pony's making a slingshot. I wouldn't trust that right away. Again, another stock that's moved up almost too much there, but that's a crazy move back up. Wasn't expecting it. I want to keep to like the QBTSs of the world, the Palantirs even. Good spread, good order book, icebergs. Palantir is kind of crazy, but
I'm just looking. Do you know how many Palantir ETFs there are? I'm just looking at them right now.
How many do you say?
PLTU, PLTD, PLTY, PLTW, PLTG, PLTIR. I don't get it. Like everybody wants it.
Yeah, that hood trade's really pushing up pretty nicely. I think that there is an ETF for Robinhood. It's ROBN. ROBN. It's actually pretty decent. There's a good chance Bitcoin could smash 100,000 today, for all we know. If Trump says the word Bitcoin coming up in a press conference,
Well,
instant pop.
how's his coin doing?
What was that?
How's his coin doing?
Oh God, the Trump coin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's find out. Let's find out. It's been popping up this morning a little bit, but what's it doing long term? It's at like $12 a coin. It started off at like 23, popped up to 85 back from the beginning of the year, and dropped down to as low as like 750. I think I'm going to hang into my NVAX trade throughout the day, because if it can get over 7, I could see it trying to make a move even back up to 750 soon enough.
You know what did great this morning? Did they have earnings, Groupon?
Yeah, I believe they did.
I mean, I can't believe that company's still in business.
From last night they did. You know what though? Hey, who's competing with them right now? They have the whole game as far as like the discounted services, right? Where companies can promote like, 70% off, blah, blah, blah. I don't know of any other company that's like public, even private, that's doing that.
I know somebody reached out to him and tried to use him a while ago locally, and they were like the worst people to deal with. You couldn't get them on the phone. You couldn't do anything with them. I mean, like it was like somebody working out of a closet. So, I don't know if they were just overwhelmed, this and that. Maybe they got their shit together now or something. But like, they really were like horrible. I heard like terrible.
Have you heard of the app Thumbtack?
No.
It's a pretty good app. It's like almost like an Angie's List type thing, where again you look for services online, like locally. They come to you like handymen, plumbers, blah blah blah. Oof, buddy, I got a nice smile on my face right now, but I was seeing red yesterday. I was working with some HVAC people in my apartment unit. Oof, you can't really trust too many companies in general, so you got to watch out for who you do business with. Just very poor, professionals, complete slobs. They didn't know how to communicate. It was a whole thing.
It's pretty good. I don't know if you're older here. I'm watching this GPUS really trying to hold a lot of foundation right around here, around 880. Just big green bowl just volume came in. I used them, but I canceled them. You got to be careful. I'm going to teach you a little trick. HomeServe is actually really cool. What they charge, like $15 a month. I mean, you're in a condo, so they cover it. But like, if you own your own home and like you're trying to find somebody, let's say you have an issue right now, get HomeServe, and just got to be careful. You got to cancel it after a year, because then they all of a sudden they hit you at rates. So like, I was able to insure my whole house for like $50. Plumbing, electric, air conditioning, everything. It was great. And then I forgot about it, and I used them a lot. I mean, I had to change a pump on my boiler, circular pump and every stuff. And then if I got a plumber there, they would charge me like $1,000. It cost me $15. Then like a year went by, and all of a sudden I noticed I was paying like, I don't know, like 100, 150. They kept raising it. So they have a really good thing in the morning. So if anybody here needs it, just remember to make yourself an alert to get out of it. By the way, Groupon's going back up, and also getting a pop back up on the GPUS.
Yeah, the GPUS. I'm hawking here, just waiting to see this try and break new highs. Moving back over a nice level from Bookmap, the GPUS too. So if it just keeps here, we'll get that next push.
So John's doing pretty well. He just made some money on that little option call. Yeah, you could day trade options too.
What was that?
You could day trade options. I mean, a lot of people do it. I mean,
Yeah, but you got to make sure though, like we talk about, first, you got to know why the stock is moving first before you trade the option. But
well,
if you're trying to
without it's
lower,
most
if you're
important, you
trying to
got to be a good
lower,
stock trader first before you can be a good options trader. Everybody does
yeah,
the
that's what I
option.
just said. Yeah, yeah. So you got to be a good stock trader first. But you don't want to do out of the money like we spoke about. But also, you got to make sure you push the expiration date further out so you lower the volatility of it. Trust me, I've learned the hard way, folks. You could follow the stock levels perfectly, but if you're doing super out of the money stuff or like the zero DTE, you're going to get stopped out way sooner than the stock is dropping. So come on, Fausto, GPUS here, baby. Let's see one more pop like you want. Here we go. This might be it. Testing 10. We're approaching it.
It's going. I'm looking to buy something else. Oh shit! Am I going to get it? Palantir's making an HOD. I just bought some more of it.
I got to stay on my GPUS now. This is like a category 4 or 5 stock, the GPUS.
It's a swing trade, by the way. When I say I'm doing one of these are swing trades.
Come on, get us the break of $10 or the test of it. Give me like the test. I'll take half out soon, but take half out right now. Let's see. We are getting somewhat close to reversal time now. It's like almost 10:15.
Getting close to that 10.
My NVAX isn't breaking over 7, so I may just close that out soon. It's kind of sluggish.
Now, remember, everyone that was my phase 3, remember I was talking about don't ever, ever, ever buy and sell things ends in zeros and fives. Well, GPUS just did exactly what I told you. So remember the game plan I was teaching everybody, the numbers. So if you missed that class, go back and watch it because we did a couple of good examples of explaining how you can buy it at one price and get out another. But those numbers are very, very important. It just hit 94. It didn't hit 10.
Yeah, I took half my trade out pretty much right there. What was my exit out even? I didn't even try to
really
check
low.
my price.
The Alex got out, did pretty well. Remember, you can't always sell at the bottom and buy at the bottom, sell top. You're going to sell in between.
Exactly.
Let's see if it consolidates here, then we could see a new breakout. But as of right now,
and also remember too, if you're not paying commissions on trades, you can take a little out here, a little out there. You can responsibly play with it a little bit. You don't need to be perfect. So if it drops and you close the last part of it out and you're still positive, hey, that's awesome. You know what I mean? Like there's gonna be plenty of other trades later on today.
And by the way, once again, everybody, if you're watching on social media, we're going to be getting off the mic for about 15 minutes. I'm going to be back at 12 o'clock for a free workshop. Make sure you take your phone, scan the QR code on the right-hand corner. Do it before we leave. All you got to do is put your name and email, and we'll give you the log-on instructions so don't miss out. Make sure you register. The guy that was at there on GPUS just quit. He pulled his order at 850.
This pony trade is just a rocket right now, Fausto.
It's still going?
It's still going. Look at this thing.
Holy crap.
This thing is just ridiculous. This is like HINS from the other day.
I know we know the news a little bit. I mean, regarding about, but what did they sign a huge contract or something? Like, what's the story with it?
Yeah, I don't know. This is nuts. I'll take a look right now, see if there's anything new. I mean, they have a partnership with Uber.
Okay. That's big.
Oh, that was this morning. Okay, never mind. That was today, actually. I thought that was old news, but I guess they announced a strategic partnership to advance autonomous mobility.
Well, let me tell you something. Uber's got to do something because they're if those guys are going to get they got to be ahead of the curve. Otherwise, they're going to get screwed. Because Tesla's coming out. I know the White House removed the restrictions on autonomous driving, so Tesla's going to benefit big time from that. But once again, it helps other people. So, Uber is going to be like, okay, well, I can't compete against Tesla. So, I mean, like they don't have Uber drivers, so they got to do something.
See, this is where I just want to show as a good example, quick, because it's tough for like you and I to teach right now, right? Like we have our classes for that. But turn over to Uber Rich. I just want to show everyone this. This is like, hey, like I just noticed this now. So you're not going to be able to take every stock that's moving out there in the market. But do you see, Rich, like that resistance from the beginning of last year? I think that you show it there, right around 82 bucks. Yeah, 82 bucks. Look at that clean resistance, right? And then see how it held most recently back in, what was it, February of this year? If I was to see this here, see how like 82 is holding so nice resistance there. Zoom in on the daily chart, Rich, today. What's the low? Freaking 82. Would have been perfect support to try and take that bounce. Listen, we're trading other stocks. We're on GPUS. We're on the NVAX. We're on the ASST. We're not going to always be there for everything.
That's a great one right there.
It's awesome. Beautiful. If you're an Uber person, then that was for you. That was like, gold falling into your lap. Little pretty decent iceberg order just showed up on QBTS, but pretty far down on the bid. Maybe it ladders up over time.
I'm taking ASST off my list now. I think it's done. $5 is big support, but that thing's up too much. Party's over. So there was there's a style that we do when it comes to trading. For some of you here, is that like we trade a lot of these stocks, and like we'll just forget about them. You know what I mean? You don't want to average down on some of these stocks. Like don't keep chasing it going down and down and down. You got to get, there's 2 rules that we teach at Cybertrade University. Just a quick little tip. We don't hold overnight positions unless it's done at the design. And number 2, you don't average down. That's how because we've seen stocks that just keep going lower and lower and lower. Then you wake up one morning and bam, that thing just tanks on you. GPUS looks like it's making a Fausto flag on the upside.
We got a new order on the bid that just showed up there too.
12,000. I think it's going to break the 10. That looks like a Fausto flag. Where's the next resistance levels you said?
From the chart, let me find out. So we kind of pushed above that support that was broken. Now it might be a little tough, Fausto. Where do you think? Oh, you don't have your chart showing on yours.
Yeah, mine won't go back that far. I don't know why it's
locking up. That's right. Shoot, we can go as high as basically 11, perhaps.
Like I just pulled his order at 50.
It was kind of in the sloppy range where the support was at like 940. The resistance could be even like 11-ish.
Lead is playing a little GPS too also.
Hawking that Oscar trade since the open. It hasn't done anything, but keep it in my rotation, just waiting for a better move. Yeah, Rich, I see that NVAX finally jumped over 7, but it's still not out of like, well, I'm out of the doghouse from 650. It's a great trade from 650, but if you're looking for more, it needs to do a lot more work first. I'd rather have a giant iceberg show up on NVAX, get that happening, and then you could see a better squeeze.
Yeah, I just happened to pop over Bitcoin really cool. It's just stuck here at 99,000.
Yeah. We got 100,000 likely as big resistance on like the heat map. I definitely believe we'll break over it soon, perhaps over the weekend or perhaps by today, but I think perhaps the weekend there. That'll be my better bet.
We got a new runner that's going up. I didn't look at level 4 yet, but I think I said before the VEEE. It's got a lot of resistance levels. It looks like it's testing long term right around here, 450. Oh my God, what a weird level 4. This is, oh my God, talking about, you want to talk about laddering? There's like ladder on both sides on this thing. It's like someone's got 1 foot at one door, 1 foot at the other door.
Post it up as an alert.
That is very a unique looking ladder. Yeah, I'll take a screenshot of it and let everybody see what I'm looking at. Who doesn't have level 4? There you go.
Hold on a second. Is this the move? Yeah, that was
Uh, WBUY, WBUY just got halted on the upside. This thing, I don't know what the story with this thing is. This thing is just like gapped up this morning, got crushed. Started 7:30 this morning. It was at $27. Came all the way back down to like 8. Things nuts. No volume though. 780,000 shares.
Yeah.
VE still trying to go up. Buyers coming in. Testing the high. Twin V Power Cats. The news come out on it, Rich? Check see the news down on it.
QBTS still holding up pretty nicely. I called out another stock that one that we're pretty familiar with, Wolf, WOLF. It's doing all right, having a decent day. It actually got halted the other day, Fausto, WOLF. It was the weirdest thing. Like, you wouldn't have ever expected it. And then when it reopened up, nothing ever came of it. It just kind of like crawled and died again. It was just very odd. It's going up higher now, at least from that price, but GPUS still trying to, hold support at the minimum, but it needs to make another pop back up towards the high soon. Again, reversal time is looming. It is like pretty much here. Pony might want to hear that, but Pony seems to be holding up pretty damn nice here.
Don't mind me. I'm just shopping. It did a hell of a nasty shake. Dropped like 60, 70 cents.
Which?
Pony?
Oh, yeah. Well, even from earlier, that was a nasty drop down to like 14, then the slingshot from there.
Could be a short squeeze when you see something like that. There's a lot of stocks that are up big, but they're just not tradable. SZZL. Ugly spreads. Low volume. Dave. I mean, these things are up $43. I mean, like, they're up huge.
Yeah, I'm not as. I mean, if they're not trading good volume on it, then
yeah, you still got to get it. You know what I mean? Like, there was a strategy. I had somebody I used to day trade with a long time ago, and I tried to teach it once, but I think it's too dangerous to some people here. But like, it was called spread trading, and you would find stocks that got really, really big spreads, and you try to buy it on the bid, and then automatically try selling the offer. You know what I mean? So that was like spread trading. Oh, Chuck did really well on Pony. 15 out at 1667. Way to go, Chuck.
That's a hell of a move there.
Just got a halt on the upside on ASST. It's funny. I just said it. I said, you know what? A lot of support levels here at 5. And it's been like that since 4:30 in the morning.
For my NVAX trade here, I'd want it to get over 725. If it can pop over that and then flip that into support, then you will have like a chance at a real runner later. But it's been a nice day trade from 650. Can't complain with what it's doing, but you don't want to assume it's going to like go all the way back up. Not every stock's going to be Pony. QBTS still lingering nicely, like off the highs. That's done actually pretty well. I might get out of the CEP swing I'm in, Fausto, just to take the money. The issue on it is the spread and just the lack of volume. So I feel like if I like blink or sneeze, like it could just like drop pretty quick. If I'm day trading or if I jump on coaching with students, like I don't want to be thinking about that, right?
Yeah, I hate that. Your head's not there.
Yeah, so like if it had a better spread, yeah, but if you're up already and it's just a little flat, it might be just time to look elsewhere.
Did anyone get the VEEE? Because that thing just had a huge pop. I know you guys are looking at Pony, but that one's moving up really nicely. Number 2 on the big percentage gainers is starting to really pick up some volume right now.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It's up about 100%.
Once it broke that resistance at like 450-ish or whatever, just there.
Yeah, nice little buck move right there.
Dude, this might get halted right now. Like this is a crazy run. Brad's
Oh,
in. He's in from
Brad's in
438.
at 438.38. There you go, Brad. Brad, you see the ladder up going on level 4? Guy just pulled his order at 520 and he just laddered up to $6. There's 2 of them out there. That was that image I showed you.
What's funny is Fausto, Brad will join us at times on YouTube and social media. So he's a longtime student of ours, but I'll see him every now and then join for the morning meeting, the afternoon meeting. He's always with us, at least, whether it's online or joining us here.
Now, there's a lot of new members in here today. We did a big event this week with, just a bunch of events last week and this week, including today. I see Demetrius Douglas in there, Frank. What else we got in here? New trial members. Julie, good to see you. Welcome. Linda from St. George, Utah. Who else I got here? Michael from Georgia. Robert. Just a couple of things I just want to point out to you guys. Good to see you, Julie. Steven from Oklahoma. You say hi. Be there. Brad from British Columbia. Kelowna. Brad, you're from Kelowna? I love Kelowna. That's why I first found that. One of my, that's where I found the ice wine. I had a student over there that invited me down there. I did a coaching class. He hired me to come do a one-on-one class. And rarely ever did any of those back then, especially going up there. I didn't know anything about it. And what a great vacation. Made a vacation out of it. He made me force me to make a vacation out of it. And what a beautiful, I don't know if anybody, I have a bunch of paintings there. How you doing, Steven? So anyway, my point I want to bring up the trial members. If you notice in the room, we don't tell anybody what to buy and sell. We do that because it's illegal, number one. Number two, it doesn't make you money. It shows you how to think for yourself. So just keep that in mind. You're out there trying to, the students here know what to look for. We taught them in class, and that's why they're they know where to get out. And that's why we're bouncing around looking at a bunch of different stocks, because sometimes they miss one and then they'll go to another.
Yeah, and again, just to add on top of that, everything in our main classes, from A to Z, we teach our students how to follow these iceberg orders, how to protect yourself with risk management. We also provide some education for you, though. So, every Monday I jump on, obviously today, Thursday, but, just this most recent Monday, we did a workshop, Traders Talk, and you can actually go back on that on our website, on the student portal. And of course, you could join us next week. We do that each and every Monday for all of us here, students and trial members alike.
By the funny story, Josh, regarding about Kelowna, Brad, they had their own Loch Ness Monster in their lake over there or something like that. They had a couple of videos. So they always thought the one is up in like Switzerland, but they had like their own Loch Ness Monster. It's pretty cool.
Getting a good push right now, Fausto, on the QBTS trade over 9. And I know that we're going to be jumping off in a couple moments here, and it's reversal time essentially, but there could be more room on this QBTS here if it holds over $9.
Pony too. Pony's not backing off.
Jesus.
Acapulco, is that what I can't pronounce that? Agapago is our legend. Is that how you pronounce that?
Agapago.
Agapago. Yep, I remember. I knew that. I didn't know the name. I know it was a weird name, but I remember there was an ice wine, one of the biggest, like a castle that goes like into like the lake. Just absolutely gorgeous place. Cool. Just beautiful. I went there in the wintertime though. I was like on the cold side. I had some good snow up there, but definitely a great place to visit. Not too many people know about Kelowna.
A GPUS trade falling off right now. It might be reversal time for that at least.
All right, traders. So we're going to get off the mic right now. I got a couple of phone calls with some of you here. So we're going to basically kind of help answer some of your questions. If you didn't book an appointment yet with your education advisor, please do that, or with me. Remember, you got to learn before you can earn. It's not for everybody. So let's get some questions answered. Hopefully you're enjoying being in the cyber group room. Hopefully you're enjoying those videos. If you're watching on social media, take your phone, scan the QR code. We'll be back here at 12 o'clock for an open house. If you want to learn how to use level 3 and level 4, we're going to get more specific on it. Always, it's our weekly open house. And Josh, good day today. Thanks for being here as always. And Rich, great for you having me posting up those pictures and those pics, everyone. Cyber traders, we'll be back, like I said, 12 o'clock, and then we'll do the afternoon. All right.
Take care.